I'll just paint this. You know, dude? No, I'm bored. Go and check my idea request. I'm like, oh shit. Tutorial? And you're banned. Use thrusters as power for an engine? Dude, I'm not gonna do that.
What we do here is go back.
You know what? Yeah, I guess I'll do it. I'm overcomplicated though. I made a thruster engine inside of Build-A-Boat. Well, not technically, because this is a pre-recording. I'm going to edit this later. Originally, I was just going to use TNT for a engine. That's not really that efficient. Technically, it is a combustion, but we don't want this type of combustion. It'd only just break our build. Another method was using bouncy blocks, the old engine method, but I'm honestly really lazy and I don't want to do it. And lastly, we have the magnet, which I'm going to save for another video, which leaves us with the thruster. I mean, you could also use jets, but that's really uncontrollable, so let's go and make a sketch of what we're going to do first before we even build it. We're going to need about 4 pistons, maybe a counterweight, some type of clutch to make it start spinning, and maybe we can put the sensors on top. Yeah, I drew this as if it's just going to appear in front of me, like a snap. Alright, I'm gonna be completely honest, it looks like shit, and I got a feeling it's not gonna work. And I guessed it. Alright, let's just try and start off with 1 piston, making it very simple. Let's also recolor this, because I don't like how it's just bright pink. Let's also reduce the amount of weight by making it sideways. Now let's press our engine starter and test. That's not supposed to happen. Oh boy. So what do you guys think went wrong? I'll give you guys a moment to think. If you picked A, B, C, or D, then you are correct. Here, let me explain. This is a controlled model of our piston engine. As you can see, when it starts turning, it would reach the sensor. Notice how it starts pushing when it's at the peak, but when it exits, it doesn't push anymore, so it's not really going to generate us any momentum at all. And due to it only pushing at the peak, it would push in the direct middle, causing it to eventually slow down. Kind of like coming early to class, but then figuring out that you had the wrong schedule, and then you appeared late. So instead, we're going to have it thrust after the peak. This way, it can constantly add up to momentum and give us a lot of speed. So how are we going to make this? Well, we could just add sensors on the camshaft instead. So let's go and make it. And now for the moment of truth. Something's not right. It's almost as if the thruster doesn't have enough power. Oh, we're inside the test servers. Okay, I forgot. Okay. Inside of the test servers, we can make the density of the thruster higher, which means more power. So theoretically, this should work, right? And so the real moment of truth. And now it works. That's so great. Alright, all that's left is just to make the 4 pistons and add some other stuff to it. Let's get into it. I don't want to keep you guys alone here, so I'm just gonna talk over my time-lapse. I think over here I get stressed a bit. Why is it so slow? Oh my god. Oh yeah, and then over here, I'm just trying to make it like a little bit better by using the logic gates. I think this is like a good time to say, if you guys really like my videos, make sure you like and subscribe. Alright, this is when I come back. Okay. Before I show you the engine, let me show you how the starter works. When I press this piston down into an object, it would sort of push it out of the way. I use that concept for the starter so that it doesn't spin really fast at the start and it gradually gains speed. So we have our engine, but we don't really have that much control over it. We can't determine when it should start, how it should start, how much fuel it has, if it's just an engine for a generator to generate electricity, if it requires a key or not, if it can rev up through throttle, and when it should stop. Let's do the easiest first, making it throttle. I did this entirely off camera because I know you guys don't want to see me sit and make it, so holding down this button will cause the RPM to start accelerating, and if I were to let go, then it'll start decelerating. Alright, I think it's time we should make a key. It's honestly not that hard to do. All we really have to do is just use AND gates. And now when you put the key in, oh my god, that pisses me off. And now when you put the key in, it is now activated. I feel like we should add some light gauges and some sound, just so it's easier for us. So now when you put in the key, oh my fuck. So now when you put in the key, it should start beeping, and there should be a light showing us that the key is inside the engine. This allows us to enable the accessory ignition, and also start the car. Yeah, I think it's time to make the fuel system now. It's not that hard to do. So my idea of making the fuel system is by making a binary counter and then having it go down in scale. Then after it reaches 0, of course I will shut off the engine and disable all functions of the engine until we decide to refuel the engine, of course, and then we'll be able to run again. Alright, so it should count up. Then once it reaches the max value, it should shut off the whole entire engine. Right now. Perfect. Alright, let's also give this a check light for low fuel warning. No, actually no fuel warning. Doesn't make sense if I say low fuel warning. Alright, so let's plug in the key. Makes the engine beep. Then I press the ignition switch. Then it should start counting up, or technically counting down in value. And then when it reaches the empty state, then the no fuel warning would go off. I feel like we should make a gauge for fuel. Plug in the key. Turn on the ignition switch. Enable the starter. And then the fuel should start dropping down. Now when I press on the throttle, it should drop a lot more faster, about a whole 4.5 seconds faster. Also, I tweaked the engine just by a little bit, so it'll get to a higher RPM, like a lot more faster too. We're now at half a tank, quarter tank, and it should come like soon right now. And we have no fuel. Now when we have no fuel, we're also able to refuel the whole entire tank. This is possible because it's just a binary counter. And if I were to take out the key, then that should just shut off the whole entire engine too. Wow, that works perfect. Made a whole control system for engine. And I don't even think I'm gonna put this inside a car or anything. But before we even think about putting it inside of a car, let's do a little test of how it would be if it was unanchored. I can kind of theorize that it'd just fly around, but starting the engine and it's already starting to push forward. Okay, the engine's running and now the engine's running away from me. Maybe I have to make this into a V8 engine so that there's an equal force pushing into each other. Starting the engine. This is more like a boxer engine, but it's all good. Alright, so we canceled out the force by having it both push into each other, but are we able to even put this inside of a car? I'll do that for another video, but if this video actually does well, and if you guys like this type of editing style, then I'll do another video where I actually make a car with this engine. But that's honestly all I have to show for you guys. This concludes the video. See y'all and bye. I'm really tired right now. Anyways, final announcements. Specifically towards the film event that I'm hosting, I feel like 1,000 isn't enough to give because, you know, someone can just get 1,000 Robux just by spending $10. So I'm gonna bump it up to like 5,000 Robux, but the submissions are gonna close on August. Now it's gonna close on August just because of the mechanical building competition. I'm gonna allow some people just to focus on that instead of doing that, instead of focusing on something that doesn't give the master builder trophy or anything. So I also may or may not participate for the mechanical building competition because I'm really trying to focus on film studies and trying to find a new editing style for YouTube. I don't like the current editing style that I have right now. Also, I wanted to use cool ass audios and be a little bit funny instead of using some shitty royalty free music. So I'm probably not gonna make any revenue at all from this video. It's a 50-50 though. YouTube might put ads at the start or middle of the video, but it doesn't matter. Alright, that's honestly all I have to say. Also, editor, what are you doing? Why is there a B-movie script? I'm just gonna end the video. Alright, bye-bye.